Brother, let me ask you something. When you're lifting and it starts to hurt, what do? Do you panic and shut it all down? Or do you keep going and trust the painful process? Here's the part no one ever explains clearly. Pain during the lift doesn't automatically mean you're breaking yourself. Most of the time, it simply means you're loading a part of your body that isn't functioning well right now. The problem is this: misunderstanding pain knocks you out of the gym when consistency is exactly what you need. Misread it the other way, and you keep grinding on something that's actually getting worse, and now you become the problem. The truth is this: pain is the line in the sand where most men were never taught how and when to cross. If you're already in pain, of course you're going to feel more pain when you start strength training. That's normal. That's expected. In fact, the pain you're feeling is often the very reason you should start strength training in the first place. So when does pain become the problem? Here's my 30-minute pain rule that changes everything. It explains it all. If pain ramps up while you're training, but settles back down within about 30 minutes after you're done, you're fine. Your body is adapting. Over time, that pain should fade during consistent training and during your everyday life. But if that increased pain while you're training lingers for the rest of the day, messes with your sleep, or makes tomorrow worse, that's not growth, that's a warning sign. And let's stop right here, because this is where most men get confused. Day after muscle soreness, that is completely expected and fine. I'm not talking about next day soreness here. I'm talking about waking up with more of that same original pain you had when you started working out the day before. That's the signal you need to respect. So this is your takeaway. Pain itself isn't the signal you act on. What happens after the increased pain is. If you're new here, I'm Ken Kowalsky, physical therapist, wrestling coach, husband, and dad of 4. I spent over 30 years helping men get out of pain, rebuild strength, and stop declining quietly. Not with pills, not with surgery, but with intelligent strength training that actually works. This channel exists because no one is teaching men our age how to grow into their second 50 years of life. Stick around. I'm going to show you exactly how to do it. All right, let's talk about two guys I used to always see in the gym. Guy number 1 looks like his body is made of eggshells. He scans his joints mid-rep like he's some kind of bomb technician. The second something feels even slightly off, he racks the bar, slaps on BioFreeze like it's sunscreen, and spends more time monitoring his sensations than actually training. That guy isn't listening to his body, he's waiting for permission to quit his workout. Guy number 2 is the exact opposite problem. He lifts like he's riding into a battle scene from Braveheart, screaming through every rep, right? Veins bulging, eyes popping, form barely holding together. Pain isn't information to him, it's a badge of honor. And that guy, he doesn't last either. You don't want to be Mr. Eggshell, and you damn sure don't want to be the Braveheart guy when training. One is scared of pain, the other is addicted to it. But both are confused. What you're after is intelligent struggle, strong, focused, controlled effort that listens to pain without worshiping it or running from it. And most importantly, monitoring your pain after your training session is over. Gentlemen, the real enemy here isn't pain, it's our confusion. We've been fed the lie that if doing X hurts, it must be wrong for you, so quit. Then we all point at our pain and say, see, strength training, that doesn't work for me. But that's not honesty, that's self-sabotage. And the truth is, you were never taught how to tell good pain from bad pain. We've been taught to avoid all things that are uncomfortable to us in our very soft, normal society. Pain is bad, hunger is bad, getting nervous is bad, failure is bad. Following these guidelines sets you on a surefire course on the slow glide into a meaningless death way before your time. I see this literally every day. But you know these things you've been told to avoid are the exact experience that will turn you into a badass masculine man who's dominating his second 50 years. As a physical therapist, all right, here's the truth. Usually I start my patients with exercises that create very little to no pain at first because most men need to relearn what pain actually means, and I don't want them running away from me before they understand that. But once we build trust, we start to progress. We introduce the right kind of pain during exercise, safe, effective, and controlled. I had a 94-year-old man erase decades of arthritic knee pain by getting stronger. Sure, the exercises hurt him when he started, but now he walks everywhere pain-free. No meds, no surgery. And here's the biological truth you need to understand. Your tissues are designed to adapt to a difficult environment, but they need the right dose. Too little stress and nothing changes. Too much stress and you can flare things up. There's a sweet spot in all of this. The work has to be difficult, but doable. Now, if it's not difficult, it's not helping you, it's not doing anything. But if it's not doable, you're gonna quit. And when it's difficult and doable, but painful, the 30-minute pain rule tells you whether you're on the right track or not. All right, quick story. When I was in high school, I broke a bone in my lower back playing sports. One vertebrae slipped forward and threatened to pinch my spinal cord, and surgery was on the table. Instead, thank God, my parents took me to a physical therapist. That decision changed my life. Not only did he heal me up, but that injury is the reason I became a physical therapist. It's why I love the work I do. It's even how I met my wife, right? It shaped everything. But here's the part I never really talk about. Even after I healed, some of that damage was still permanent. Today, I live with back pain every single day. When I train consistently, that pain is minimal. But when I fall off the wagon for 2 to 3 weeks, it comes roaring back. And when I get back under the bar, it hurts like hell at first. Of course it does. But I don't stop. About a month later, the pain fades back down to a very low hum. And if you're wondering, the 2 exercises that get rid of my back pain are deadlifts and squats, the exact lifts that most doctors would tell me to avoid. That's the mistake that most men make. Intelligently working through pain is often the only way to get out of it. Just keep applying the 30-minute pain rule. Brother, if this hits home, stick around. Subscribe to the channel and share this with another man who's ready to grow stronger into his second 50 years. Every week, I give you real tools to take your strength, energy, and your masculine edge back. And when you're ready to go deeper, you can grab a copy of my book, Grow or Die, on Amazon. I wrote it exactly for you. And there's an entire section on pain in the back. You can also check out my website, second50strong.com. I have a free crash course there on strength training for men over 50. It's pretty good. All right, here's how to put this to work. If you have a chronic pain, you're most likely good to get started. But if it's a new, intense pain, figure out what's causing it. There's a big difference between training around arthritis and training into a full muscle tear. So get some clarity first. If you need to, see your doctor. Next, make a plan to attack the pain instead of running from it. Find or create a place that you can train consistently. A gym, a garage, a corner of your basement, whatever you'll actually use on a regular basis. Then start strength training with lifts that load the problem intelligently, not recklessly. If you want help, find a qualified professional who understands strength training and pain. It's recommended, but it's not required. And this is an area we're going to just keep talking about in future videos anyway. Most importantly, commit to 3 months. It's going to take time to see results, gentlemen. Adjust when you need to, but don't quit. The magic will start to happen in about 2 to 3 months. A barbell is the best tool you can have for your overall health, but it's not a magic wand. And if the pain never fully disappears, fine. Ask yourself this, would you rather live with pain as a weak man or as a strong man who can still work, play, and live life on his terms? Pain plus weakness is decline, then death. Pain plus strength is still a damn good life. And here's your challenge. Ask yourself this right now. Are you attacking your pain or are you letting it scare you into a sedentary life? These 2 paths lead to completely opposite futures. If I'd chosen inactivity with my broken back, I'd be medicated, inflamed, unhealthy, and most likely completely fused together by now. Instead, I'm in my 50s and in better shape than the high school kids I wrestle. That didn't happen by me avoiding pain. It happened by learning from it and meeting it head on. Let me leave you with this. Pain is not your enemy. It never has been. Pain is feedback. It's information. It's your body pointing to where you need work, what needs strengthening, and where you still need to grow. The real problem here isn't pain. The problem is that no one ever taught you how to listen to it correctly, but now you know. That's why the 30-minute pain rule matters so much. It gives you a simple filter you can actually use. If pain shows up during training but settles within 30 minutes, you're fine, you're adapting, you're moving in the right direction. If that pain lingers and ruins your day or wrecks your sleep, it's not a reason to quit. It's just a signal to adjust, change the load, clean up your form, or pick a different exercise. Then keep going. Now, brother, look at your life honestly. Your body, your energy, your confidence, your ability to do the things you care about. Is that the way you're handling pain right now, making your life bigger or smaller? Avoiding pain leads to weakness. Weakness leads to more pain. That cycle quietly destroys men in their second half of life. Everything here at Second 50 Strong is about breaking that cycle. Learning how to train intelligently, learning how to listen to your body without being ruled by it, learning how to grow stronger even when life isn't perfect. You're starting that journey right now. And always remember, most men fade, but you're not most men.